Hello, my future wife. If you're watching this right now, I need you to stop for a moment and listen carefully. Because what I'm about to say is urgent. Not because of fear, not because of danger, but because some feelings become too heavy to keep locked inside the heart. Some words wait for the perfect moment, and I believe this is that moment. Life has a strange way of bringing two souls closer, even before they officially belong to each other. Every day, I find myself thinking about the future we might share, the memories we haven't created yet, and the promises that are still waiting to be spoken. And today, there is something important I need you to hear. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, give me just a few minutes of your time. Because this message is for you and only you. My future wife, you need to hear this. It's urgent. Hello, my future wife. If you're listening to this, then I need your attention for a little while because what I want to say cannot wait. It has been sitting in my heart, growing heavier every day, asking to be spoken. Sometimes we think urgent things are always connected to problems, to fear, to something going wrong. But this urgency is different. It comes from a place much deeper. It comes from a heart that has spent countless hours thinking about someone it hasn't fully met in the future yet, someone it already values more than words can explain. I have spent many nights staring into the silence, wondering what your voice will sound like after a long day, wondering what kind of smile you will have when something genuinely makes you happy. I wonder how you will look at the world when nobody is watching. I wonder what dreams keep you awake and what memories still follow you through quiet moments. These thoughts have become a part of my everyday life, and the strange thing is that they feel familiar, as if my soul already recognizes yours from somewhere beyond my understanding. The reason this message is urgent is because there are things that should never remain unspoken. There are feelings that become too important to keep hidden. There are truths that deserve to be shared before another day passes. And the truth is that the idea of you has changed me. The thought of our future has changed me. The possibility of building a life with you has changed the way I see tomorrow. Before you arrived in my imagination, the future was just time moving forward. It was days becoming weeks and weeks becoming years. But now the future feels different. Now it feels alive. Now it feels like something worth running toward. Every goal I set, every challenge I face, every lesson I learn feels connected to a bigger purpose. It feels connected to the life I hope to share with you one day. I imagine ordinary moments more than extraordinary ones. I imagine conversations that last longer than expected. I imagine quiet mornings where words are unnecessary because comfort has already filled the room. I imagine laughing over things nobody else would understand. I imagine supporting each other when life becomes difficult. I imagine celebrating victories together, no matter how small they might seem to the rest of the world. People often talk about love as if it is only excitement, only passion, only grand gestures. But I think love is something much deeper. I think love is choosing the same person again and again, even on ordinary days. Love is showing up when life becomes complicated. Love is staying when circumstances become difficult. Love is believing in someone during moments when they struggle to believe in themselves. And maybe that is why I needed to say this, because every day that passes makes me realize how important that future has become to me. Every sunrise feels like one day closer to meeting the person who might change everything. Every challenge feels like preparation. Every lesson feels like training for the responsibilities that come with loving someone properly. There are moments when I wonder if you are having similar thoughts somewhere. Maybe you're living your life, working toward your goals, carrying your own hopes and fears. Maybe you're facing challenges that nobody else sees. Maybe you're building strength in ways you don't even realize. Maybe life is shaping you just as it is shaping me. What amazes me is the possibility that two separate journeys can move toward the same destination without either person fully understanding how it is happening. Two lives can travel through different roads, different experiences, different lessons, and still somehow arrive at the exact place they are meant to be. I want you to know that this message comes from sincerity. It comes from a place untouched by games, untouched by temporary emotions, untouched by anything artificial. It comes from the realization that some connections deserve honesty from the very beginning. Even before we share a home, even before we share memories, even before we officially belong to each other, honesty feels like the right place to start. The urgency in my voice comes from recognizing how valuable time really is. We spend so much of our lives waiting for perfect moments. We wait for the perfect opportunity. We wait for the perfect circumstances. We wait for certainty before speaking what is already true inside our hearts. But life has a way of reminding us that tomorrow is never guaranteed, and meaningful words should not be delayed forever. So I refuse to wait in silence. I refuse to pretend these thoughts do not exist. I refuse to ignore the growing certainty that somewhere ahead of me is a woman who will become one of the greatest blessings of my life. A woman whose presence will make difficult days easier and beautiful days even brighter. A woman whose existence will transform ordinary moments into cherished memories. When I think about you, I do not imagine perfection. I imagine authenticity. I imagine a real person with strengths and weaknesses, victories and scars, confidence and insecurities. I imagine someone who has fought battles nobody knows about, someone who has learned lessons through pain and growth, someone who continues moving forward despite everything life has placed in front of her. And that is exactly why this feels urgent. Because appreciation should never arrive late. Respect should never arrive late. Gratitude should never arrive late. Even if these words reach you before our story fully begins, they deserve to exist. They deserve to be spoken. They deserve to travel into the world and wait patiently until the right ears hear them. I want you to know that your future matters to me. Your happiness matters to me. Your dreams matter to me. The person you are becoming matters to me. Even now, before every chapter has been written, before every page has been turned, before every promise has been made, those things matter. Sometimes people search for extraordinary signs to prove that something is meaningful, but often the most meaningful things arrive quietly. They arrive through patience. They arrive through consistency. They arrive through the simple realization that one person has slowly become important without trying to force it, without demanding it, without chasing attention. I think about all the conversations we might have. I think about the stories we'll share. I think about the moments when we'll sit together and realize that every difficult experience somehow prepared us for the life standing in front of us. Hello, my future wife. There is something I need you to know, something so important that I never want time, distance, or circumstances to leave any doubt about it. This is a promise, not the kind of promise that sounds beautiful for a moment and then disappears when life becomes difficult. This is the kind of promise that is built slowly, carefully, and honestly. The kind of promise that remains standing when storms arrive. The kind of promise that stays strong when everything else feels uncertain. I don't know exactly where you are right now. I don't know what your day looks like. I don't know what challenges you may be facing, or what dreams are currently living inside your heart. But I know this. If you are the woman I will one day call my wife, then there are things you deserve to hear long before that day arrives. You deserve to know that my feelings are not based on perfect moments alone. Anyone can love when everything is easy. Anyone can smile when life is going according to plan. Anyone can make promises when the sun is shining and the road ahead is clear. But real commitment reveals itself when circumstances change. Real love reveals itself when life becomes complicated. Real loyalty reveals itself when difficulties appear without warning. And that is where my promise begins. I promise that I will never see love as something temporary. I will never treat our relationship as something valuable, only when life is comfortable. I want a love that survives reality, a love that survives mistakes, a love that survives challenges, a love that survives misunderstandings, a love that grows stronger because it has been tested, not weaker because it has been challenged. The truth is that life will not always be easy. There will be days when we feel strong and days when we feel exhausted. There will be moments when everything seems to be working perfectly and moments when nothing seems to go according to plan. There will be victories that make us celebrate and disappointments that make us question ourselves. That is part of being human, but my promise is that I will not measure my commitment based on circumstances. If life gives us beautiful seasons, I will be grateful. If life gives us difficult seasons, I will remain present. If success finds us, I will celebrate with you. If hardship finds us, I will stand beside you, because love should never depend entirely on convenience. I often think about what marriage truly means. It is more than photographs, more than ceremonies, more than celebrations. So those things are beautiful, but they are only the beginning. Marriage is what happens afterward. It is the decision to continue choosing each other through ordinary mornings and long evenings. It is learning each other's strengths and weaknesses and staying anyway. It is understanding that perfection is not required for devotion. I promise that I will respect your dreams. I never want you to feel like your goals matter less because we are building a life together. I want to encourage them. I want to support them. I want to celebrate them. I want to be the person who reminds you of your strength when you forget it. I want to be the person who believes in your potential when you begin to doubt yourself. There will be moments when you are stronger than you realize. There will be moments when fear tries to convince you that you cannot move forward. There will be moments when exhaustion whispers that giving up would be easier. During those moments, I want to be the voice reminding you that you have already survived things that once seemed impossible. I promise to listen, not just hear your words, but truly listen. I want to understand what makes you happy. I want to understand what hurts you. I want to understand what inspires you. I want to understand the parts of your story that shaped who you are, because being loved means being known, and being known requires listening. I never want us to become strangers living under the same roof. I never want routine to replace connection. I never want comfort to replace appreciation. I never want familiarity to become an excuse for taking each other for granted. I want to keep learning you. Years from now, I want to still be curious about your thoughts. I want to still ask about your dreams. I want to still care about the details that matter to you. I want to still notice the things that make you smile, because love should continue growing, even after years have passed. I promise patience. Not because I will always get everything right, not because I will never become frustrated, but because relationships require patience. People grow at different speeds. People heal at different speeds. People learn lessons at different speeds. Sometimes understanding takes time. Sometimes forgiveness takes time. Sometimes growth takes time. And I want to create a relationship where time is allowed to do its work. I promise honesty, not convenient honesty, not selective honesty. Real honesty. The kind that protects trust. The kind that strengthens connection. The kind that allows two people to build something lasting. Trust is fragile. It takes years to build and moments to damage. That is why I want honesty to remain at the center of everything we create together. I promise to appreciate the ordinary moments. The world often teaches people to chase extraordinary experiences while overlooking the simple blessings already in front of them. But I think some of the greatest memories are hidden inside ordinary days. A conversation after a long day, a shared laugh over something silly, a quiet walk, a peaceful evening, a simple meal together, a moment of comfort during a difficult week. Those moments may never appear in headlines, they may never become famous stories, but they become the foundation of a beautiful life. And I want to notice them, I want to value them, I want to remember them. I promise that when challenges arrive, I will not immediately look for an exit. I will look for solutions. I will look for understanding. I will look for ways to strengthen what we have built together, because commitment means staying engaged when things become difficult. Commitment means refusing to let temporary emotions make permanent decisions. Commitment means remembering why something matters, especially during moments when remembering becomes difficult. You are not just my future wife in this vision of the future. You are my future partner, my future teammate, my future best friend, the person I hope to share victories with, the person I hope to lean on when life feels heavy, the person I hope to encourage when challenges appear, the person I hope to grow alongside year after year. And because of that, I want my promises to be bigger than romantic words. I want them to become actions. I want them to become habits. I want them to become choices repeated consistently over time. Because love is not only what we say, love is what we do repeatedly. Love is what we protect. Love is what we prioritize. Love is what we nurture. Love is what we continue choosing long after the excitement of beginnings has settled into the reality of everyday life. So if you ever wonder what my heart hopes to offer you, the answer is simple. Loyalty when life becomes uncertain. Patience when growth takes time. Respect when opinions differ. Honesty when truth feels difficult. Support when challenges appear. Appreciation for both extraordinary and ordinary moments. And a commitment that is not based on perfection, but on a daily decision to keep building something meaningful together. One conversation, one act of kindness, one sacrifice, one moment of understanding, and one promise at a time.